life. Malolele, welcome everybody to the Brutal Lives Talanoa. Tonight we are very lucky, we're blessed to have Soane, the Shark Valu, aka, well actually it's Joe Folau, aka Soane, the Shark Valu. Also joining us, the director of Brutal Lives, Vela Manusaute, and myself, Sandra Kailahi, the producer of Brutal Lives. So we had our cast in Talanoa last week, which was awesome, but the big question was, we want to talk to Joe Folau. We want to get what's happening with Joe Folau. So Joe, thank you. It's so good for you to join us. I know you're out of town, down the line there in Tauranga, around that way. So we really appreciate you joining us tonight. But how are you? How are you, Joe?
Yeah, I'm really good. I'm really good. It's been a rush. It's very exciting to see all the feedback and how well Brutal Lives is doing. Out there, it's no, I've been really good, really busy with work though.
Yeah. Well, we had a great time last week, Vela, with the actors, and they were saying some just some really awesome things about you, Joe, and the experience of working with you. So we want to kind of have a little talanoa with you. But first of all, your background and where you're from and Tonga, and just a little bit about you, Joe.
I'm Kiwi born. My father's from Te Whisi Whawau. Mum's Māori. From Waikato, from Tainui. I grew up in South Auckland. Was in South Auckland since I was about 9 years old, I think. When we moved to South Auckland, and I've been there ever since. Got into performing arts through my old college, Sandra College, and I haven't stopped since.
Yeah.
Soane went to that school too.
Yes, yeah. There's a handful of young ones in the industry at the moment. They came out of Tangaro College. Director named Samson, Bill Koale, Soane. There's a few of them.
Yeah. So it was really good to, I remember, oh gosh, back in the day, seeing you kind of hit the screens, Joe, and, one of our first,
Charlotte Street. Whoa.
Yes. Oh my gosh. The lotto ads, you used to do all of that.
A lot of ads. There wasn't really any Pacific Islanders my age. Everybody else was older. A couple of years older. So when they were looking for someone in that age bracket, I think I was about 16, 17 at the time. There wasn't many Pacific Islanders in the industry doing performing arts. Not males, I should say. Everybody else was a lot older. And Vela, you would know this yourself, old Robbie, Shim. All those cats were all a couple of years older than me, so I think I had that ground covered at that time. Not too long after that, a whole bunch of young cats started coming through, and I think they understood that we can do this, But rugby was hot. Rugby's always been hot at the time, and I think everybody just wanted to be a rugby star, get out there and play with the oval ball, but. And back then, I think it was mid-90s, early 90s, there wasn't many young brown men my age in the industry.
Yeah. What was it about it that you wanted to get into it, Joe? What was it about this industry or acting and that made you, really want to pursue this as a career?
I think I was pretty shy, and I needed to find a way to come out of myself and just be able to speak and find a little bit of courage. So I did theatre sports, and theatre sports for the year took me into theatre. So I wanted to give that a go. And I didn't play major roles in theatre at all. It was just in the background. And then I saw the power that an actor has on stage with the audience, and how you can command attention and manipulate people's feelings through storytelling. And I really enjoyed it. It's so much easier for me to put on a character's shoes than it is to be myself.
Yeah.
And do this type of stuff, this kind of thing. And I love storytelling. I just love storytelling. I love performing storytelling.
Yeah, and you're so awesome in it. There's so many things we want to talk to you about with Brutal Lives and just what you brought to the series. I got there's a few people sending some comments, some love your way, Joe. Yeah, you know, they're like Lorenzo Jameson Mason, sup brother Joe, love what you're doing. You know, there's Harmony Heke. Hi Joe, hope you're keeping well. There's a lot of love for you coming through. Much love from George Yotua. Much love Joe Folau. You know, and if anybody has
an Aussie, George.
Yeah,
George is an old primary school friend of mine. He was Aussie a long time ago. Flipper school.
It's so cool.
Thanks,
I mean, that's awesome. If people want to ask a question, please send it through on Facebook, and we will put those questions to Joe. And if you want to throw one Vela's way, we can actually ask Vela one too.
I think the focus here is Joe. I'd just like to because we both know this is a long road, especially for those who are interested in getting into the industry. Myself, Joe, and a few of our other friends are truly survivors in this so-called business. And it's we know each other that we will have our time and we will have our quiet times, but at the same time we gotta keep the fire burning. So, how do you keep that fire burning?
I mean, I have to admit, it's like you said, it's not easy. It's not easy in this industry, and it's I really admire people like yourself and Sandra. How you guys stay motivated to keep doing this, and support your families and keeping your financial situations alive, because you know that it's hard. Yeah, you can get pay good money, but it's sporadic. And I think that this industry is one of the poorest working industries in this country, trying to be a performing artist, trying to be creatives, because you depend on funding, and funding doesn't necessarily pay your bills. So I had to face reality and understand that you got to work as well. And in saying that, a lot of the time the responsibilities of my job is taking me away from what I love to do, because of other commitments or other responsibilities, families, children, things like that. So I really admire people that this is their one and sole income.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had all the money in the world, I'd do this for free, because we love it so much. And also, I just want to thank both of you for trusting me in the role of Soane. When Vela sent me the script, almost 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Vela sent me the script and said, have a read. And man, I love performance pieces, and this came across as a real performance-driven piece, especially with Soane. Everything was internal for Soane. And I loved it. So I just want to thank you and show appreciation for trusting me with the role and giving me the opportunity to play that character.
Oh man.
Malo, bro. Hey, we've been talking for a long time as the years, has gone through, about talking together about working something. I watched the Other Side of Heaven just a few nights ago. And I saw how young and skinny you were, but how
way to go, Vela. Way to go, Vela.
No. But what got me was the intensity at such a young age, being able to hold the camera at that young age. You know what I mean? And I know you were in King Kong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You went from King Kong to being King Kong here in Brutal Lives. So, but you know what it is, bro. It takes a special type of actor.
Yeah.
able to for me. And when I was, as we're writing Brutal Lives, we keep thinking in our head, who will play Soane? We need we need an actor, not just any actor. We need somebody who truly understand this whole process.
Yeah.
And your name came up, and but because we know you too, we know, and what you brought to the table, I can't direct you, bro. Your experience and your love and your understanding of what your craft is. That's from years and years of being in the, in the trenches.
Yeah.
I mean, and what you brought to
Yeah.
Soane is like what you brought to Soane was like at the right time, what's needed.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you're so incredible.
Mm,
You're so incredible, Joe.
incredible.
And when
Yeah,
Vela
thank you, guys.
I think, Joe Folau, what do you think, Joe Folau for Soane? And I went, yes, straight away. And then you came in and you read it. And I know that Vela, being Vela, was giving you the hard time when you were doing the rehearsals and the read-throughs.
That was great. I thought that was for me, like when reading the script.
Man, you brought it.
No, Joe will look at the pages and like 10 seconds. Then he looks up and looks at it, and I keep going, here we are. But that's just the way the actors approaches.
You're incredible.
And that's what I love about it. And bro, you know what? For I've seen Brutal Life so many times, but that scene with you and the father wrapping up, and when the camera comes up, oh man, that tear that drops down, you can't teach that. You can't. You know that. You know that. For me as a director, going, oh man, you just went there like that.
Amazing.
Yeah,
but not only that, not only that, Vela, we've had so much feedback, Joe, from people just saying, oh my gosh, Joe was incredible in this. And just your expressions, that internal conflict that Soane went through, you were so good at being able to hit that note every time. I mean, I know when you did an interview around this about could you relate to Soane, and it wasn't necessary that you could as the character, but what did you do to go into those places to be able to bring out those emotions, because they were incredible?
I haven't been I went straight from high school into theater, right? So I never went to any institution to learn techniques or anything like that. You really had to trust your instincts as someone fresh coming into the industry. When I get a piece, I know if I can do it or not, or if it's for me or not. I know that there's other people, just from their personalities, they might be suited for the role. When reading for Soane, because Soane is so distant apart from who I am, I can't really relate to Soane personally. I feel like I have to believe in what's on the page and is really happening. When people cry on screen or cry in a piece, they try to go back to a memory or something that can help them to find those emotions to get back there. I've really got to believe in what I'm doing. So if I believe that my father and the show is really my father, and this is a real situation that's happening, and I really, really believe that and feel that, then the emotions will just come. But I really got to believe that in that frame and that point in time and this very moment, that everything that I'm doing, regardless of people around me and cameras around me, this is real. And I try my best to go there to bring out real emotions and that moment, or what the scene is asking for. And I depend on that a lot. It takes a little bit to shake it off at the end of the scene, because you fully go into that headspace. And sometimes it's a dream after I've done it. So I really got to go back to the monitor and make sure what I do was supposed to be how I was feeling at the time. But yeah, that's how I get into those those moments of emotion, or whatever the script is asking me to do. In saying that, Vela's a very particular person. I think I'm very lucky that I knew Vela long before. I met Vela as a child. I lived in a block of flats in Royal Oak, and a couple of doors down, Vela's grandmother and 2 cousins lived there as well, and he used to come around. So we have a history that goes right back to when we were kids. Vela's a very particular person, and I found that I had to filter out a lot of stuff because he would crack a lot of jokes on set. So I had to filter out a lot of stuff and go through what he was and trying to pick out the points of what he was trying to ask me to do. But like I said, I'm lucky I knew him, so that was easy for me to do.
I think
Vela.
I think, bro, it comes down to respect between myself and I just respect you for your work and your craft, the way you were able to go in there, even during the rehearsal. You were able to go in there. You don't muck around. There's no filter. You know what I mean? You just go straight in there, and then you come to me after the take and said, "Was that enough?" And I was thinking, man, how lucky I am to be able to work with you at a particular time with this, to serve this particular story, because Soane carries a lot, and he's an actor that digs deeper. You know this, but the crying
was heavy, man. He was heavy,
bro. But the crying was not just a kind of crying. It was just straight, Dad, am I dead? And the tears flowing down. It's like, bro, you don't teach that. You know, that's with the experience. That comes with the experience. You know, I didn't tell you to do it like that, but that's just your instincts as an actor, but also your experience. And for me, like, how wonderful it for us at this time is particular, as specific people, being able to tell our narrative, being able to get an opportunity to be on screen and do all this. We're not in the background. We're not extras. We're in the front doing all this. And for me,
thank you guys, man. Thank you guys for that opportunity too.
Because remember, they're reading the first reading ahead, and you were meant to turn up, and you were 10 minutes late. And I was saying, if he doesn't come through that door in 5 minutes, I'm going somewhere else. And then I walked.
Calm down.
Then I walked downstairs. He was talking to Michael Goloi outside. I was like, oh gosh, because we've been in conversation. I keep saying to Joe, hey Joe, I got something for you, man. I got something coming. It's in the pipeline. And you go, yeah, because we do that as actors. We catch up. Hey, I got something. We want to kind of work together. But when I knew this was kind of special, but I didn't like just to go, oh, we're doing this because it might not happen for me and Sandra, and then it's all talk. But when this thing happened, we go like, man, when you came on board, we just knew it straight away.
Yeah.
Well, that's you, Vela, and that's what you're all about. I mean, you don't mention anything if it's not going to happen. So when you say something, I know that it's going to happen. I know that it's going to happen. It might not even be with me. It might be with a whole other group of people. But when you say something, there's one thing about you that I know is that when you say something, it's going to happen. You're so passionate. You're so passionate about the stories that you want to tell.
Yeah. He's been like.
We're lucky to have you in the industry, brother.
Joe, with this, I know you had to speak Te Lea Whakatonga quite a bit in that. How was that for you and that experience in doing that?
Yeah, well, it was difficult. I wanted to make sure that I got it right. Like I said, I'm Kiwi born. My father ran away from Tonga at a very young age. Came to New Zealand as a lot of people did in those days. That movement of people looking for a better life, for a better future. In the late 60s, early 70s, and my father was part of that movement. So he came here with the intentions of giving the best to his family that he could when he decided to have one. And the Tongan language wasn't one of those things that was at the forefront of his mind at the time. Which got a miss, I guess. But I'm not disappointed or angry about that. Life is good.
Just is what it is, right?
Hey, but
it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think so during that period too, because when we came from the islands, no one wanted to speak Island. It was quite embarrassing to speak in our own tongue. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they encourage us to speak English more
Yes.
because
Yeah.
they thinking back in those days, they think that English will help us. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Similar story with me too.
Exactly.
Same
So
thing.
you understand that movement of people back then, that's what it was, and I get it, and I totally get it.
Yeah.
And if the Tongan language was something that I wanted to just I was going to speak, then I would go out there and learn it.
Yeah.
You know, it's our fathers, our parents that decided to make that move in those days. It's the best decision they could have ever made for us. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe,
yeah,
I've
that's your
got a
father.
question for you. Vela, I've got a question for Joe because it's actually not about you
No,
tonight.
I'm asking. The question I want to. No. The question is for me is like, has your father seen it, Joe?
Oh,
Has your
yes.
dad? Now that's a good question, right? Has
That's
your
a
dad
good
seen it?
question. I'll take that back.
Thank
That's
you.
a good question.
Now turn your screen off.
I'm going to turn yours off.
Has your dad seen it, Joe?
I'm not too sure how much of it he's seen. I'm still waiting. I know that this story hit home for a lot of people. I know that a lot of older people could relate to the subject, and the taliwhakao and those things, and fully believe in that stuff, and as the culture. And I'm still waiting for feedback, you know, and I'm not going to push it. I want both him and my mother to take their time watching it, and I know that when they're ready, or when he's ready to chat about that, he will, you know. And when he does, I'll definitely get a hold of you guys and let you know.
Yeah, no, that'd be
But
awesome.
I'm not pushing with
Joe, I got a question for you. It's from
Sure.
Samson Rambo, awesome filmmaker.
Rambo, how are you,
Yes.
Samson, my man?
Awesome young filmmaker. Malo Lava team. Question for Joe: what was the biggest challenge about taking on the role?
That, oh man, Soane there's no real certain aspect of Soane that was challenging. The whole thing was a challenge. I mean, and that's what I loved about the character. And when I first read, just the weight that he had to carry, the shame, the 20 years shame, his father passing and him not being there, his sole supporter passed away, and in 20 years he just disregarded everybody and left. The fact that he had to come back and face them. His children. It was such a heavy character. Where do you start? Carrying that weight, I think, was the biggest challenge, and convincing myself that I had that weight on my shoulders. That shame. What was I going to do about that? What was Soane going to do about that? How can he get everybody's trust and love back? Was he ever going to get it back? All those questions was hard to carry.
I know for me, there were so many moments that I really loved, you know, because we watched this so many times, as Vela said.
It's about Joe.
I'm going to cut you off screen off.
You're waiting for that.
Guy, and the moments were
we don't care about the producers, but
here he goes again. Here we go. There's two moments. The one was when Jasmine comes back and you see her for the first time, and just that look. I was like, damn, that was awesome. And also, I think when Ben is doing the barbecue and you go over to him and you say, oh, can I help? You just had that look of real hurt.
Yeah.
When he said, nah, I got this ticket, it's all good, you know. Just, you had so many good moments like that, eh, Vela? I will ask you, Vela. There were so many good moments like that, right?
Totally agree. Totally agree. I mean, cause you can't always think about that moment too when he first sees Jasmine and how many years apart, and that process, his eyes, he just told through it the whole story.
It was amazing.
And
I remember those moments. Wow. I remember how yucky it felt, you know. It was terrible to feel the way that Soane would have felt, seeing his ex-wife come back, the mother of his children, not expecting to see her, and her turning up there and going, oh my God, all those things to go and try to connect with your son, and for the first time, and your son telling you it's all right, we really don't need you. I've been the father around here. Sucks. So, yeah, man, it hurt, and you react accordingly. You just got to go with your instincts, and you've just got to really believe in that moment, and you react, and they were very, very hard. I mean, sometimes I just had to walk away and be on my own for a minute, just to shake that. Yeah, poor dude, poor Soane, man, that feels yuck.
Yeah.
But that's what he carried.
Yep. Yeah. And that moment at the end when Lupe comes up to you and says, oh, I need some training, some help with my right hook. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Dad? And just that look when you grab, go across and grab her hand and you just look at us, oh man, you just said it all in there. It was incredible.
Finally, it was like finally.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. Oh, it feels good.
Well, my one is in the gym when they're both walking towards each other, and Lupe confronts you and says, you know what I mean? To me, you already see the two fighters coming together, and oh my gosh, and you look, what are you waiting for? And then you say,
yes.
And then you say, I'm your father. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like so much. So
we
much
had
going
feedback
through.
on that.
You know what I mean? It's like
Graham McKinnon got that shot behind behind Soane, and me and background walking towards each other. Yeah, that was pretty powerful. I really enjoyed watching. That was really, really, really good.
Yeah. Speaking of Soane or Lupe, a lot of the actors said to us last week that they just really, really loved that opportunity to work with you, Joe, and it was really incredible for them to have that experience. What was it like for you to work with an all Tongan core cast?
I saw them as they're great actors, Soane just brought every time Vela caught action, and she brought it to the table. She made me feel uncomfortable to be around, which was what Soane, which was what Lupe did and does, and the whole piece right up to the end. Soane's brilliant. Hans, of course, done a lot of work right now, and it was easy to work with Hans. Hans just went there every time. Scenes of him, I think it was
the park
when we were at the fence.
Yeah.
And they come up to me at the fence, and I mean, the character Soane was intense anyway, and Hans is. Tomasi just brought the same intensity in a different way, and you could see that. You could really see that he was working. He was really working really well. All those actors, and like I said to you, I said, beautiful on screen, man. That dude looks really good in the frame. He looks really good. I think he should be doing a lot more work. He's a very, very, very good looking dude. The camera loves him. The camera loves him, and he comes across really natural and relaxed. They made my job easy. They really made my job easy. I wish that I did a bit more with Albert. I never really got to work with Albert so much right up until the end piece. Albert did a lot of stuff on his own.
Yeah.
Albert Rounds.
He was a warrior, man. He's a warrior.
Man.
He's a warrior.
I never thought that a spirit could be that way, the way that he brought it. The way that he brought the spirit.
But he comes with that, Yes.
That what he brought from that realm of entity.
Yeah.
Was awesome. His laugh. Kalivikal's laugh. The voice. Yeah, oh man.
There was.
Really? Is
That was
what
really
it is? And then
Vela.
you hear it back. Holy crap! Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah.
He went against his size, and very clever thing to do. It was awesome. Freaky. But all the actors were great, and you had a lot of veterans in there. Michael Loy was in there.
Yeah.
You're right, Vela. I think
Leah.
last week you were saying about when he takes off his glasses.
Oh, yeah.
He's
But
natural though.
that's what I was saying, Joe, about all the actors. They kind of knew when the camera was on them, and they kind of held it for a while before they did the action. You know what I mean? A great example is Michael Koloi. All he needed to do was just walk up, take his glasses off. But he just took his time, which I thought beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Intimidating. It was really intimidating for me as Soane to stand there and to see this dude was fearless.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. I need to come up to you and I need to pay my respects to you. I don't care how you're feeling about me or whatever. It's 20 years old. He bought it, man. It was awesome. Both of them.
Yeah. And I love the dynamic between you and Offa, Cecilia. Just those banter. Oh, she's awesome, right?
She could crack a joke and then be serious and cry in the scene like a minute later. And I don't know how she does it. But she's a character. She's a great actress. I got a lot of respect for Cecilia. She's very knowledgeable in the culture. She comes from a family of really great, knowledgeable people where Tongan's concerned. She brought a lot to the table, and she's a very, very good actress. I don't think we have enough people like Celia in the industry, females in the industry like Celia. She just brings a certain realism to the screen.
Yeah. And yeah, you're so right. She's awesome. And just those little throwaway comments that, all the Tongans loved, because that's how it is with, she reminded me when I first met her or saw her acting, I was like, oh my gosh, you're like my grandmother. Just had that, the way of manner about her. And the other one is Jason. So you and Jason were together, but not together because we never saw him. We saw him, but we didn't see him.
It's incredible.
That's the first time I've ever worked with Jason. And Jason is, I don't know what it is about Jace. I was a little bit nervous him playing my father, and I'm older than him. But you guys did really, really well, and he brought the character of the father to the table with ease. He was a little bit like Leah. He could turn it off and on at ease. But the whole lot of them made the journey so easy for me to carry the weight that Soane had to carry. And I mean that in the way of in the characters, they brought what was needed to bring in order for Soane to feel the way that he did.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I could go to places that I needed to go to. Yeah, they really made it easy for me to do that. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. You got lots of family and friends sending their love to you tonight, Joe.
Really?
Yeah, lots of family.
Hey, family and friends.
Lee, Hildred, Jasmine.
Hey,
Jasmine.
Heaps.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Hey,
Ben, Kamefuna, all of them, all saying
Hello, Ben.
just sending their love to you
Ben,
and just really enjoying, the opportunity to spend time with you. So I know in terms of the other experience, there were two actors who weren't, this is their first time that they'd ever acted, Man 1 and Man 2. Outside the laundry, but a lot of people, when we showed that in the live screenings, loved that scene. We're laughing and just could relate to it because that's kind of like, what a lot of people do, shooting the breeze and stuff. How was that for you working with these two? Because I know that they love the experience.
Sam is my sister's husband. His family. Sam is I know his cousin. He's my sister's husband, Ben Misa, and they told me he was going to be in it. I met him for the first time in rehearsals. It was funny to hear them read. They've never done this before. So intimidating. I don't know how they would have how they how they did it, because I would have been so intimidated. They'd never done this before. It was fun to have them. It was fun to work with them, and they ended up becoming relaxed in the scene after a couple of takes, and it was nice to be amongst that freshness again. Helped me to remember what it was like. But they were funny, very funny characters, and that's exactly what it is. When we're just hanging out, and you see someone that you recognize a personality or something like that, that's exactly how it is. Hey, you're the guy. Can I've got to have a photo, and that's just what it was. And when they walk away, and if that person's a snob or the person kind of gives you an attitude or something, as soon as they walk away, you say, thanks, mate. And then you go, wow, what a snob, man. Somebody talk to that guy. You know? But, I mean,
so true.
That's what it is. And they did that really, really well.
Yeah,
well.
That was good.
Yeah.
Joe, got a question for you. My Lord team, this is from Taylor Tutawa. When can we expect to see you on screen next? Is there anything, any other projects in the pipeline for you?
I'm not. There's nothing at the moment. BL2 possibly, but I think I know where Brutal Lives 2 might go. I'm not too sure. When it was mentioned and chucked out there, Vela made a couple of comments, and I was like, I think I know where he's going with this. So maybe not, but I don't have anything in the pipeline at the moment. No.
Yeah.
Things come and go. I mean, it really depends. Like Vela told me ages ago, he's got something. I remember having a discussion with Vela, and Vela said to me, in this industry, he sees me very specific characters. And if you're not going to write that character for yourself, sometimes you're just going to have to wait for that character to come about. And Soane was one of those characters, I think. And I understand what Vela meant by that, and how you can't. I go to auditions all the time, and I read and I look at it and I go, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, but I think I know in my head who's good for this. And I hope that person does get the opportunity to do this, because he will be awesome. There's a film coming out soon. I won't mention it. And like a lot of things, the auditions come down to a couple of us. And the guy that got the role, it's not out yet, but it will come out soon, was perfect. He's perfect. And sometimes roles are written for you, and sometimes they're not. It's just how the industry is.
Yeah. A lot of people have been commenting about how they love seeing, Tongans acting, the language, the storyline, like even the hair cutting, and just, the nuances of the Tongan culture and aspects of that. I know this was, you did On the Other Side of Heaven, and that was, in Tonga and stuff. So how was the experience for both of them, for being here in New Zealand with that, and then over in Tonga doing that?
The Other Side of Heaven was, the first one was filmed in Raro and in the Cook Islands.
That's right. Yes.
So it was hard. It was hard to try to find local Tongans to bring the authenticity to it. But that story, The Other Side of Heaven, is based in Tonga, but it's told through the eyes of people from the United States. That story wasn't told by any of us at all. I mean, we portrayed a story that was seen through the eyes of John Groberg, who's from Idaho. And that was his experience. And I had to understand that the story isn't being told from our point of view. Had we told that story from Vicky's point of view, Vicky is the character that I played in The Other Side of Heaven, it would probably be a different story, a totally different story. But it's told through the eyes of John Groberg. And that the difference with this is told from us, yourself, Sandra, Vela. I know Vela's not Tongan, true blood, but us as Polynesians that know each other, especially us guys in the industry, we relate to each other and we relate to each other's storytellings. And I think that is the respect that we give each other outside of our culture, that we understand our stories, Samoan stories, Niuean stories, Tongan stories, Polynesian stories. We do understand the connection. And when someone writes a story that's from our culture or from Pacific culture, Māori even, we can relate to a certain degree. We can relate to the stories a lot better than when they're told from people that are far removed from our culture. That makes sense.
Also comes down to the actors, Joe. The actors. We can tell any stories, but I think with this one, we have the best actors for this particular job that we're about to do. Yeah, true that, bro. I'm not Tongan, but you made the job easier for me by serving the story, serving each single word's purpose to its fullest. And that's why this story not only resonated with Tongans, it's all Pacific in all culture.
It's universal. It's a universal story there, Haku.
Because the honesty of the performance, the honesty of us allowing time and allowing space for actors to breathe, for us to tell the content. Because I also had the luxury of Sandra, who's Tongan, Malika. We had everybody else who gave me the we can't do that, but culturally you can't. But at the same time, I'm serving a story, and that comes through you guys. You guys are carrying the weight. There's no lies in this performance in this one. You know that. We have to tell it to the fullest, at honesty as we can. So, bro, it's a collaboration. It's a
collaboration. You're exactly
wonderful
right.
collaboration, bro. It's I love working like this. You know, because you remember the cut. We have some jokes. It's like, bro, are we in the same movie? You know, we're just kind of we're just kind of crack. You know, and you'll suggest to me something, and I'll say, let's try, let's go, and then you'll try it and come back and say, we'll try something else. And the collaboration, I thought it was between the director and actor was just crucial, and it was good because we know each other. That was good.
One of those moments. Oh, you go, Joe.
Sorry, Sandra. It was easy to ask permission to do that with you, Vela. But I guess because we know each other, that I just didn't feel right. Even when you come through, I mean, I think there was only once when I asked, "Can I go again, Val?" And you said you don't have to. It's exactly what I wanted, and I just have to put that trust in and Val's. Okay, if that's hey, and you asked me why, what was it? And I said something just felt off in me. And there are times you just say, okay, go again. Do you think you can do it better? And it's like it's not about doing it better. It's for me, I've got to make sure that I've got the right feeling in the scene. I think you understand that, Val. But it was easy to work with you, and you gave me a lot of permission just to run as fast as I wanted to with Soane.
Yeah, I think we when we cast you as Soane, when we were doing the rewrites and everything else, it was already shot the first series, the first one. We knew who we were working with, myself and Sandra. We knew, we were excited, and we knew what you're going to bring. Yeah. So the more we threw into the fire, the more Soane is going to burn. We knew you're going to bring the pain. You're going to bring the pain, and we say Soane is not going to get off lightly. Soane needs to suffer right through the whole thing. And bro, you're right. It's such an emotional time for you, and I don't know how you shake that off, but it's a hard one. But it's awesome, bro. My Lord.
There was one moment where you, in the script, when it's in episode 6, when you go up to Alingi, who really was awesome, brought that energy as Jimmy the trainer, and you go up to get the necklace to present it back to the Tala Whikau. And in the script originally, it was that you punched him
Yeah, yeah.
But Vela said to me, no, Joe and I have been talking about this and we just don't feel that it's right. And I was like, oh, okay. Are you sure? And then, he said, yeah. And actually it was really right. It was perfect the way that you did it. But that was that collaboration, Joe, just knowing that moment.
That came from Joe. That came from Joe.
That was awesome suggestion. Yeah.
That came from Joe. I think we sat down and this is what I love about this collaboration. Joe sat me down and said, "Dogs, I don't think this should happen. And the reason this was happening, you know what I mean? But I know that I have to follow the script because it was agreed on. But when I heard that, I thought, oh, I got to go back to Sandra and they're like, just gave Soane so much love,
I remember that night. It was late, and I remember it was sitting with me that whole day. It just didn't feel that. Firstly, Alim Tufunga is an underrated actor, man. He's great. He's a great actor. I mean, he's got chops. That fella's got chops.
His looks are just scary.
Yeah.
Man, there's no one else in the industry that looks like him. This is Ali. He's got that look and that hairdo that he bought.
Oh,
yeah.
Next level.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I was like, that was a good call. But in that scene when I knew that he would go up and punch me and get the necklace, right?
Mm.
He had nothing to do with the issue at hand, and I just, if there was any kind of anger or anything, it was nothing to do with the coach. Even the fact that he was wearing the necklace, it was all about the necklace, and I didn't feel like, just didn't feel comfortable that I would show that type of aggression in that time and in that moment. And I know that it's a big call outside of the script, if that's what the script has written.
Mm.
And I trusted that Vela would make the right decision on that. I just had to stress my point that it just didn't feel right to show some type of aggression to someone that was far removed from the issue at that time.
What a blessing that we had that conversation, because we could have easily went the other way with it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I could have felt like under pressure to go with the script, but just having that moment, that conversation with you, then I was the one that go to tell, to reply back to Sandra about it. But just having the actor to do that, because the actor's in the role and understands it. It was awesome, bro. It was one of the best decisions we made on the night. Not you.
You're an actor yourself, Vela. I mean, you're an actor yourself. So you're a director's actor. You're an actor's director. Because you're a performing artist yourself, so you understand and you trust the instincts that we have because you know all about it. And that's why it was so easy for me to get the permission from you to just fly with this character, whatever felt right. And I wasn't afraid to stress that to you because I know you firstly as a performing artist before a director, and I know that you understand our process.
Joe, any favorite moments throughout it, or any scenes in particular that you thought, damn, that was pretty special, or anything for any other reason?
The one moment that I was struggling with was confronting the Talifikao in the ring. I struggled with that one. I didn't know, how do you face an entity like that, And that was no, actually that was the most challenging. Was that moment? Was how do you face an entity like that if you have never experienced that in your life? What type of emotion are you trying to conjure up? Is it fear? Is it to plead? Is it to what is it? How do you what do you do? I was nervous to watch that piece because it's hard to find the emotion when faced with those types of scenes. If you've never experienced that in your life, and you want to stay away from cliche horror movies and things like that, what do you do? I think my one of my favorite moments probably would have been going to the gym and
The first one, the first time?
seeing Lupe train.
Oh, yeah.
Going in there and going to confront my Lupe. I really enjoyed that tension, that feeling in there with her. What was going to happen, and that because we only rehearsed it really fast before we shot it, I think. And when Vela called action, it was all on, you know. And she bought what she bought, and I bought the fear of confronting her again, and it felt really, 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 really good, especially the punch. It made sense to me, and I know a lot of people out there. Oh, if that was real, she would never have done that to her father. And I remember on the when I watched back the Zoom meeting you guys had with the cast, that she said, well, in actual fact, she knows a lot of people that would have confronted their fathers in a situation like that.
Yeah.
And I fully agree with her to a point that there are a lot of people that if they really believe in what they believe in and disagree with the parent, that they would voice it. Probably not back in the days, they'd just run away.
Yeah.
And not say anything. But these days, I think Soane is correct that there are situations that she knows of people, and there's situations that I know of people and families that have confronted their fathers in that way.
Yeah, no, definitely. I know we're going to start to wrap up soon. We've been going for nearly an hour. I can't believe it because the conversation's been so
that's
good.
quick.
I know, it's gone really, really quick. But Joe, I'm really keen to find out about your experience with King Kong too. I know Vela talked a little bit about that. What was that like?
Oh man, what a machine! That was a beast. $280 million bloody. It was massive. It was,
that's close to ours. That's close to ours.
Close to, but not really.
Just to be on the set to watch the lead actors work every day and to see how a big budget production works. It's a machine, and it's easy to get lost in that machine. I admired and I was envious of the main cast, watching them being able to just to work what they practice and to watch them work and we were just featured extras and so we were on there for 6 months and we were on screen for 2 seconds, but that experience was one to remember. And I think what I appreciate about pieces like this, more intimate home pieces, it just feels more authentic to work in this environment. Like Brutal Lives, I remember a film that we did, number 2, back quite a few years back, and it was just nice to sit with the actors on chairs and play ball games and just chill and just relax, a little bit. It was more intimate. We could get into it a lot more. Where something like King Kong, when they call for lunch, 600 people are standing in line to go for lunch. You know what I mean? And that's it's massive. It's just too big. Yeah. It was a great experience. It was good to see. Peter Jackson's crazy.
Yeah, what an amazing experience, because how you refer to it about that experience of working with the core cast and what you went to, I know that a lot of the actors felt, very similar to that to work with you and your experience. Joe, what would be some advice? Because I know a lot of people have asked this in the Q&A we had after our private screening. What's your advice to anyone wanting to get into the industry and the life of an actor? What would you say to them about they could do or be aware of?
I think my advice is understand the industry that you're getting into. You've really got to love the performance to perform. A lot of people get into the industry because, I don't know, they want to be famous maybe, think about exactly what it is that you want to do in this industry, in the television industry. If you want to tell stories the best that you can, you will know if this industry is, if a performing artist is what you want to be. We are in the business of telling stories and manipulating people's emotions while watching the story. I like to think of it as the audience is a fly on my wall, watching things reveal itself. Work on your craft at storytelling. Believe in the story that you're telling. Yeah, I guess that's all I can think of right now. If this is the industry that you want to be in because you have a passion for it, do it 100%. But you got to make sure you got that passion for it.
You're right. Because it's hard times.
That's right.
It's hard times. There's hard times.
When the hard times here, you just got to fall back on your passion, saying that tomorrow something will come up. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
There's nothing else than holding on to your passion. Your belief as you're getting a 9-to-5 job, you still got to believe that something, because I think this gives us freedom. You know what I mean? Somebody, if you see on my Facebook page about theater, if you sell a ticket to give a man a ticket in theater, you become poor. And if you get a man into theater, you become poor. But man, if we don't have this, we're dead. Spiritually, we're dead.
Yeah.
We you know, this is my happiness, to being able to work with these wonderful people, collaborate, being able to this. You know, if nothing's coming up, we still can watch Brutal Lives on the screen, and that gives us so much joy. But Joe, you know, for us, what an honor to have you on this one, because I'll tell you why, bro. You went ahead of all the big fights, King Kong, Other Side of Heaven, $280 million project, 600 people, to bring all that fight, docs, to this one.
Yeah.
Through everything that you have learned in this one. And for me,
listen, man, respect, Vela.
I am grateful, bro. I am as much as I joke with you, because this is the way I am. But bro, I am humble and I'm honored to be able to do it, because you brought that gift with you. You brought your experience. You brought that fight. You brought the champ into Soane in this. Yes, we might have a budget of whatever budget we have in the lunch, but bro, you know, this is the most important fight. I believe that all those other fights you had is for this fight. It's for this fight. Brutal Lives, Mui Whangata, which is you brought everything, bro. You brought everything. Experience, age, emotion, never late,
always good.
Always good, contribution, generous. You never played the big star. You always contributing.
Very humble.
You're humble. Sweat, blood, and tears in this one, Joe. And I thank you for it, docs.
Yeah,
I can't thank
you. You're a great friend, Vela, and like I said, bro, appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for thinking about me. You're a great friend, Vela, and Sandra, just meeting you properly on this a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Honored to be a part of this. Can't wait to be a part of more.
Yeah.
In the future. This is our industry. I'll tell you a story about our industry, man. I remember I work on the roads, right? So I do a lot of civil road work. I've been doing it for years. And a guy comes driving into the site. And I was about to go up and tell this guy, you can't park there, man. It's a lane. Get out of the lane. It was Mario. And he hopped out, and I'm just like, Mario, what are you doing? He goes, I saw you. I just want to come up and give you a hug. Much respect, man. I love you, bro. You just do anything else. Dude, I got to work, man. What are you doing? And he was just talking about this, man. Wherever I work, if I'm working in the factory, if I'm working on the roads and stuff, he just, Robbie did the same thing. He was parked on a motorbike at Tristan Man, hopped off his motorbike and come over and see me. Just wanted to give me props for keeping it real. And if we don't have this type of opportunity where we can get on stage or on screen, we face reality and we go back to work. It's just what it is. If we're not fortunate enough to crack that big one, I don't think that that big one's got to be real particular for me and special. Otherwise, if I don't believe in it, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is something that I really believe in from the beginning.
But this is me, bro.
Great story.
Every shot we get is a big one. You're an amazing actor. It just, I think, and this is for myself too. I have to write this with Sandra, both of us, to get us a calling card, to get us to be noticed. No one is gonna do it for us. And I keep saying that to the one who follows me. No one's gonna do it for us, man. We gotta do it ourselves. Aiming for the big shot, is for the big title shot, whatever that come through. It's not gonna happen for me until I make my own step towards it. We know that. I know that. I know that. And I'm just grateful for people like Sandra who listen to these stories from the very beginning and like, okay, the producer puts the whole thing at the end and make this thing work. And like, you know, we went from this film to this film and hopefully to the next film, because we're telling our stories, bro. What are you doing to put food on the table? I do the same thing too. We have to provide for our family.
I see you do it, man, and I don't know how you do it, man.
Bro, we do it because there's no shame in it. It's just what we do. It's what we do. It's what we do. There's nothing to it. That's the way we roll. There's nothing to it.
Yeah.
I know we're going to wrap this up, but Joe, is there anything? I just want to echo actually what Vela said. Such a joy to work with you, Joe. So humbled and blown away. I would say to Vela all the time, "Oh my gosh, Joe is incredible. Those looks." Amazing, you know, and I just want to say thank you again from the bottom of my heart. And with Vela, we just loved having you. There was no other Soane for us. You were Soane. You
are the shark.
You are the shark.
You're Jaws. You're Jaws. Yeah, the mate.
Thank you, Jaws, on the bottom there. But any last words?
Likewise. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for this role. I'm glad that I was given the opportunity to do it. I love the character. It's great. I'm looking forward to seeing what the next chapter is, and there to support you guys 100%.
Yeah, thank you. And I just want to share a story that Joe, actually, when we did the pilot, we had very little money to do that.
Yeah, of course.
You came to us and said, I don't want anything. I just want to support you guys because I know that, you know, I believe in this, and I will never forget that, Joe. That is, to me, speaks volumes about the character and the person that you are. And I'll never forget that. And you're so humble, and it's been coming through with all your family and friends, just saying how amazing you are and such a humble guy. And it is so true. So I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. Vela, any last comments just before we wrap this up?
Joe Folau, just much respect to you, what you brought. It's, you know, what Sandra said, Docs. It's so, man. We gotta write for our veteran actors who's been in the trenches, because I know they'll bring the goods, bro. It's more than just the goods. You're the Jaws, bro. You brought what it is, and like what Sandra said, you do it. I heard he said he was gonna do it for free. That's what I heard. You know what I mean? But just you know, and you know, and like I always think about, where's Joe? I hope he's okay. Knowing really well, not only you've done your job, man. You brought your gift, and like, you know, we both grew up in those flats where we are today. I just gotta give it's respect, brother. Respect for that space. Respect that honesty, that space between us. Because it shows on camera. Camera never lies. Beautiful work, my man. I'm just so grateful. So grateful, my love.
Yeah. Much love and respect, Vela. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. You're awesome. All the family and friends that are watching, man, thanks for the support.
Yeah, it was awesome. And I got to let the last words out to Jason Manumua, aka Salisi, the dad. He said,
I'm not singing for Jason.
He wanted the song. You're not doing that. But he did say, we saved Lupe. Those are the last words.
We saved Lupe.
We saved Lupe. That's awesome, Joe. Thank you so much for your time. Ofa atu. It's been
Ofa atu.
awesome. Malo apito. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight and for your comments and for your love to Joe. Totally echo that. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So malo apito. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us.